All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive issue in the business world: why so much sales training is basically a waste of money, and what the future of training that actually works looks like. So let's kick this off with a number that should really grab your attention: 80%. That's right, 80% of all that new info, the skills, the techniques, the product knowledge, is forgotten by your team within 24 hours. Just poof, gone. So you got to ask yourself, when you think about the budget, the plane tickets, and the time your top sellers are off the floor, where is all that investment actually going? It feels like it's just disappearing. So first, let's dive into what we call the training black hole and figure out why those old school lecture-style training sessions just don't stick. Okay, so if it's a black hole, what's causing the problem? Let's get specific and diagnose the exact reasons these traditional methods are failing in today's world. Companies usually go one of two ways. On the one hand, you've got the classic in-person lecture. It's expensive, it's a nightmare to scale, and we already know people don't remember it. On the other hand, you've got these generic e-learning platforms where it's all about just checking a box. There's no real skill building, no personalized feedback. Two very different paths that unfortunately lead to the same ineffective result. And here's the kicker: these problems all pile on top of each other. You've got programs that are tough to scale, they cost a fortune, and they push out one-size-fits-all content. And then, after all that, good luck trying to prove it was worth it, especially because of the final nail in the coffin: the forgetting curve. And this really shows you the long-term damage. It's a real thing in psychology, the forgetting curve. Our brains are just wired to ditch information we don't use or reinforce. So yeah, 80% is gone in a day, but within 3 months, you're looking at almost everything being gone. The entire investment just vanishes into thin air. Okay, enough about what's broken. Let's flip the script. It's time to build a blueprint for what actually works. So, what does a truly world-class training program look like today? A great program really needs to nail 3 main areas. First, the actual content has to be amazing. It's got to be customized, modern, and delivered by people who know what they're talking about. Second, the logistics have to work. That means it can scale to your whole team and you can actually measure if it's working. And finally, and this is so important, there has to be reinforcement after the training to make it all stick. All right, that's the playbook. But how do you actually do it? Let's get practical with 5 actionable tips you can use to start making your training better immediately. The first 4 are all about killing that one-size-fits-all mentality for good. You have to make the learning personal for each rep, put them in scenarios that feel like the real world, make learning a daily habit, not a one-off event, and actually use data to see what's moving the needle. But honestly, this 5th tip is the real game changer, because embracing technology, well, that's what makes doing all those other 4 things possible at scale. It's the engine that powers this entire new playbook. Which brings us to the tech that makes this all happen: the AI coach. And this isn't just a small step forward. It's a complete revolution in how we think about training. So, what is an AI coach? Well, at its core, it's about using artificial intelligence to analyze performance and give the kind of personalized, data-backed feedback that was just impossible for a human manager to give to every single person on their team all the time. And now, think back to all those old problems we talked about. AI just knocks them down one by one. Can't scale personalized coaching? AI does it instantly. Is feedback too subjective? AI is all about objective data. Is training just a one-time thing? AI is there 24/7. It is a direct answer to every one of those old school headaches. Now that all sounds great in theory, right? But the proof is in the performance numbers. And this is where it gets really, really compelling. First up, speed. Companies are seeing a 38% reduction in ramp-up time. I mean, just think about that. Your new reps are fully productive and bringing in revenue more than a third faster. That's huge. Okay, but what about the bottom line? A major German automotive company saw a 7% lift in their total revenue after bringing in AI coaching. 7%. For a company that size, that's just an astronomical number. And it gets even better. A global beverage giant watched its team's quota attainment, the number 1 metric for any salesperson, jump by over 14%. That means more of their people were hitting their numbers more often. But maybe the most crucial part is this: people want to use it. This isn't being forced on them. In a really demanding industry like insurance, there's a 57% voluntary engagement rate. Reps are choosing to use it to get better because they can see for themselves that it works. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to this. The old ways, the lectures, the generic courses, they just can't keep up anymore. Today's sales challenges are complex and fast-moving, and they demand modern, data-driven solutions. And that really just leaves one final thought for you to consider. The technology is here, the results are proven, the only question left is your team ready for the future of training?